Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Old Guy Farmer's Single Player Challenge. This should be episode 38. We are in game day 2 of autumn in year 2, and we have a lot of work to do today. So we're just going to go ahead and jump on in. One of the things we need to do today is mow that big field and bale that big field. We've got the Filthy Llama Media Show in chat. How you doing? We've got Northeast Rail. How are you doing? I'm doing pretty good today. It's been a little busy day. I had to work from home today because our youngest child, who's still in daycare, his daycare provider is was actually going to be scheduled to have a baby today, so obviously we couldn't take him in, so I stayed at home with him. Alright, let's check our sheep price. $31.59, so the price is coming down. We're not going to buy any sheep today, but we do have a desire to bring our sheep count up to 200. And that number of sheep was in my budget of hay bales when we made the hay. So the goal is to bring our sheep up to 200 so that we can then get a bit more wool output next fall. Alright, so we need to fertilize field 23. And I don't know if we have enough fertilizer to do that right now. Let's go see what we've got in our fertilize hopper. We got Hendry in the house. How you doing there, Hendry? I think we used up all of our fertilizer. Oh no, we got a little more. Let's go ahead and fill this up. All right. So I was not expecting all this grass that we just mowed a couple of days ago to already be at the full growth state, because I was going to want to try to get that grass to another level of fertilization, but doesn't look like we're going to be able to do that. We're going to bring our tractor over here and start from this end. There for a minute, Filthy Llama, I didn't understand what you were talking about, but then I just realized that you must be watching on your phone. And you must have went into a low signal zone and lost their stream temporarily. Alright. So we're going to hire him. And while that's working, we're going to get some stuff and move it out of the way. First thing we're going to do is we're going to load these bales up, because I'm sure they're in the way of the hired helper. definitely be in the way of the hired helper. Alright, let's take these on up to the barn, get them out of the way. See, our helper is already blocked by an object. We're losing money while they're blocked, but I don't want to stop before we get up to this hill. Oh no! Oh no! Alright. Well, might as well take care of our helper here. And then we'll go take care of our little issue with the truck. So that is, that was 42 bales. So we're gonna have to go over here and flip our truck back. See if this thing's got the gusto to flip the trailer back. So that's one of the reasons why I like that trailer, is it holds a whole ton of bales. So that basically means less trips for us. Now our hired helper is running into those bales. Alright, hope you feel better, Northeast Rail. How you doing, Mark? Hi, Hunter. It is a little unstable, but of course we were at full speed when we went to take the hill. I do like to unload the trailer, or unload on the trailer and strap it down so we have the weight. I'd rather not use the auto load trailer and that was simple. I'd rather not use the auto load trailer and just run around with the impression that I've got a bunch of bales on there, but not really have any. This is probably going to be way too heavy. Yep. Alright. We're going to see if we can't hook up to this. And if we unload the bales, it will definitely right itself. Oh, well, I might as well take this time to look at the model underneath here. It's pretty good modeling. I like the animation of the drive shaft and all. All right, now we just have to pull the hill with horsepower. Sam's asking what system are you playing on? We're playing on PC. Oh no. What are you doing? Oh, if I'd hit the right silly button, we wouldn't have these problems. We've just got a royal mess up here. That's all I can say. I don't think it's hoarding. I think it's a very healthy habit or hobby. That's it. It's a hobby. It's not hoarding. So if I had a hired helper, I could try to do the the Night Rider thing and drive off of a moving flatbed. That might be interesting to do in a multiplayer. All right. We're gonna stash this guy over here, out of the way. I do not have any idea how many bales I have at the current moment, Mark. Alright, we're going to go to you. There's a section here that he missed. So I'm just going to hit that. So, to continue the Knight Rider reference, my oldest daughter, who's 13, she used to call it Night Rider when she was a kid, and she would watch it because we would have I had the whole show on DVD, you know, because this was before you could really stream things very well. So we had all the seasons on DVD, and she would watch it at night. She'd call it Night Rider. If she was watching the stream now, she would be beet red with embarrassment, even though nobody knows her. While our hired helper is over there fertilizing, we can't use him here to bale. So we're just going to start our mowing. Here. I see that rain indicator come up. We do have rain in the forecast for tomorrow. I don't know if it was supposed to rain in this game day or not. Looks like we've got rain in two game days of winter. It's rather interesting that we're not going to be cold enough for snow. Put that forecast back up. We've got rain, I think, today and tomorrow. And then, interesting enough, we've got rain in the forecast for the first day and the third day of winter. We'll have to keep an eye on that. I saw Trucker Brad had basically 4 days of snow predicted for autumn, and then he's got 2 days of rain predicted, or 2 days of snow, sorry, predicted for the first 2 days of winter, or maybe the two of the 3 days of winter, I think. So we're going to park this guy right down here. Guess we should go ahead and drive him over here to the baler, because we're going to need to fertilize the big field once we're done. All right. Mark, I've been watching your episodes for the challenge. Really enjoying them so far. And then I saw your orchard farm video where you made reference of having about 30 episodes left to record. So you've got quite the back catalog yet to put up there, or it's already been uploaded and it's just scheduled. Because you've only released 3 days, and it sounds like you've got 40 days recorded. It also sounded like GrizzlyBearSims mentioned that you had a pretty hard winter, the first winter. Is that the fact? We're going to do very similar to what we did over on the other field yesterday. So while he's mowing, we're going to bale this up. And then, once he's done mowing and once we're done baling, we're going to put our baler on the same course. And we're going to go run a mission, which should save us a fair bit of daylight. Yeah, your strategy's pretty sound, except if for some reason you can't get around. But if you, in theory, plow during your off time to keep the paths around the greenhouses accessible, then it could snow every day of the winter and you wouldn't have any problem. But I'm interested to see if there is if there ends up being any type of a pattern with respect to the autumn weather and the winter weather, to where if you have a really wet autumn, are you very likely to have a really bad winter also? Because it definitely doesn't seem like it's the reverse. Gaming Fanatics asks, can we download this map? Yes, you can. There's a link in the description to a website that has all of the contest rules and whatnot. And there is a link to this map from that website. This is not default Goldcrest. It is a Goldcrest edit, where each farm basically has an animal. And each farm has its own silo, so basically you could run each farm independent. Lots of the sell points that were just dump points in a building have been reworked. Well, I eagerly await every episode, as I do with any content that you put out. Those are some tall windrows over there. We're going to get some massive bales out of that thing. I have seen some West Coast videos. See, I watched Landy Kids, or some of Landy Kids yesterday. I watched Eustace Pharmer's flyover videos basically today. I haven't had a chance to watch any of the others. I've been following the testing and work in progress pics over at FSUK a lot. I'm excited to see the map for myself. There was a farm that on a Landy Kids video that he was doing where he thought he was at the cow area, but I think he was just at one of the just ancillary farms that's scattered around the map that was set up to kind of be a dairy farm, but didn't really have and I think he even made a comment that it didn't seem to have a manure pit or anything. And it had some static cows, which I agree I'm not too big on. Oh, that bale is definitely going off into the road. So who wants to guess how many bales we get off of this nice little patch of grass? He's a little over halfway. I'm gonna bet 85. Oh, I have to change my bet now because I'm sure Mark had put that in there before I said anything. And he will never believe that I didn't look at chat before I said it, so I'm gonna say 84. Somehow I don't think you're going to play the pig avenue anymore. Oh. We're up to the axles on the tractor in grass windrow. We're coming up to my little patch of wheat. The windrows, you can really see how this field has some nice subtle rolling undulations. Mark has a pig plan. He's going to be Lord of the Swine. So let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 bales that I can see off of that one windrow. Where'd the mower go? Oh, he's way down there. Hey Robert, how you doing? So if we have 10 windrows and we get 9 bales per windrow, we're pretty close at guessing at 85. It'd be nice to get a close to 100 bales off of this little plot of land, including the grass around it. That would be a $100,000 windfall of harvest. I'm just going to call you Sharma because I'm not really sure how to pronounce your first name. So how you doing there, Sharma? It does look interesting with there's not a lot of trees over there removed. I mean, you've got those there. And obviously where our greenhouses are. that should be the last bit for the Big M. Yep, he is done. I guess I shouldn't turn him off. I should get him out of the way. All right. Now, let's do a mission. So we are buying time for our mower over there. So let's just hope that he doesn't run into any problems and end up costing me a ton of money. We're gonna put a windrow down just for fun. I actually did update course play this morning. Put it on in the map. I was a little hesitant, but I thought, what the heck, let's do it. So that's a little bit of an edit that Jerry put in. With the, I guess, the dirt down and a little dirt path down to the water through the beach. I don't recall that being there. I don't know if that little patch of green in the beach there is also an ad. Hey Caleb, how you doing? This will be the next area that we come to do our deforesting. Once winter hits, because again, oh, I can't pull up the winter or the weather with the mission going on. I'm going to do 2 headlands on this end and 2 headlands on the other end, and then just set up auto turn and just have a nice chat with everybody. Hey, how you doing, boy? That your gamer? Welcome to the chat. Probably does. I put in a, Robert's saying that the swath looks different. Quite a long time ago, I put in some different textures for grass, hay, and straw. And they did a it was a global texture replacement in the base game, so it affects pretty much every map. And if you pay attention when the bale comes out of the wrapper, it looks one way, and then once it gets deposited, or when the bale comes out of the baler, it looks one way. When it gets deposited in the wrapper and right before the wrapping starts, it changes to a different look, and that change is the texture I put in. But if you look, it's kind of hard to see, but you know, it looks like individual straw strands in there. It might be a little hard to see through the stream. So my grass bales, my hay bales, and my straw, both on the ground and in bale form, might look a little different than the base game. It doesn't affect online play at all because it's simply a local texture. Just like my train is a local texture. So if I play online with somebody and they don't have the train, it doesn't matter because they're seeing their train texture and I'm seeing my train texture. I don't really remember what it was called. I think it might have been called something like real grass or something. Might have been like real grass bales, something like that. But it just involved replacing some texture files in the base game install. Oh, I'm going to do a couple headlands and I'm going to do auto turns. I figure the less that I skip, the quicker I'll be done. Not that I'll necessarily get a time bonus, but the quicker I'll be able to get back there and get to collecting bales. We're too far away to see anything. I do see some pink bales there. But I had a thought to buy this field and put grass in it, but now I'm thinking that we may have just enough grass fields now to keep up with. that if we go and buy any more grass fields, we'll have too many, and we won't be able to effectively cut them all within the time parameters and everything. So how's everyone's day been, since we really just don't have much going on here other than driving up and down the field? Well, that's good to hear, Mark. Glad you had a relaxing day. I did not. Well, I technically worked from home today. I was mentioning earlier in the stream that I had to stay home with my youngest because his daycare provider was going to be having a C-section today, and clearly daycare was closed for some odd reason, and I'll be home with him tomorrow also. So I did some work, as best you can do when you've got to entertain a 3-year-old at the same time. Alright, that should work. So now we got auto turn going on, and we've got should be turning 7 meters or so in the field, and since we have 2 headlands, that should be plenty of room for him to swing around and clear anything that may be close to the edge of the field. And hopefully he can swing tight enough to catch the next row, otherwise we'll just skip every other row. I know, I mean, she's not going to work on delivery day or the day after. I thought that was pretty selfish to be taking those 2 days off. But she does plan to be open on Monday with assistance. So that's good. But the timing actually works out incredibly well for us. My wife and I both work at the same college, and her original due date was the exact same day that our students return, and that was a very, very bad day to not be at work. And in fact, our office has kind of a moratorium on leave the week before and after move-in time. So, so the fact that the original delivery date was the date of student move-in was extremely poor timing, and I told my wife that. I said, you know, she's had extremely poor timing on this. She should have consulted us as to what would be a convenient time to have this child, and the time frame of the end of August is not very convenient for us. So early August is more convenient. It's still not a good time, but it's not a bad time either. So I was a little happier when I was found out that I had to take these 2 days off as opposed to taking the 2 days in the end of August. Robert's asking, have you ever done a trick with a baler behind the worker? What's the trick with the baler behind the worker? Are you saying, are you maybe suggesting that that you set up a baler on follow me behind this guy, and for the duration of the mission I technically on the field, and then I could technically bale up this straw? Is that what you're saying? Oh, that's well, you know, I think I've kind of already put it out there now. And no, I've never done that trick, and it never occurred to me. Seems to be a little cheating. I mean, why don't I just go ahead and set up a courseplay driver to unload this wheat while I'm at it? You know, I could set them up to offload this wheat. Or are you saying that you've done that too? Whoa, get back! What are you doing? Or would you not admit to doing that either? You guys and your tricks. So it's like an auto load. So it's like the bales when you auto load. It's there, but it's technically not. True, but it will we'll basically be able to see it rot away now. Mark's saying that missions is a good way to stop it from raining for a while. I guess it would be, well, only because it drops it back to 1x speed, right? I mean, the rain's going to come, the rain's going to come. Are you saying that once you start a harvest mission, the game will prohibit the rain from starting until the mission is over? Oh, it pauses the weather. So the game wouldn't want you being partway through a harvest mission and have it start to rain on you, and then you'd be told you couldn't harvest anymore. I just thought I was slick coming up with this idea of running the baler on the bigger fields and running a lengthy mission at the same time to give the baler more time to finish that field before midnight struck. Yeah, I've been watching him up there, basically making sure he's still got some mile per hour to him, and that the quantity in the baler keeps ticking up. We can't pull up the mini map to see where he is. It's interesting how you know the exact dollar amount that I could make. I suppose, Mark, you haven't had a chance to try out that new potato conveyor that's in the mod hub, the blue thing? Oh, we got Duck Zorly back. Is Grizzly Bear done his stream? Well, I'm eager to see if the if that grimy or grime, or I'm just going to call it grimy, if that DLC proposal comes to fruition or not, because that would make potatoes interesting. I think having the new equipment. Oh my goodness, we got Rubber Burner in the house, we got Doughboy in the house, We got all these crazy people in the house. So I was thinking a little bit ago, Rubber Burner, as I was starting this mission, why aren't you running missions on your challenge? It's like free money. I don't know if you'll make more money per game hour harvesting or doing trees. Because remember, when you're doing trees, I think it's 4 real-life minutes equals 1 game hour. And there's only so many trees you can cut down in 4 real-life minutes. It's easily almost 4 minutes to drive your trailer to and from the sell point. But when you're in a mission, 1 game hour lasts 1 real hour. So like this mission's going to net us, I don't know how much money, but it's probably going to take us 45 minutes of real time to do it. And 45 minutes of real time at 15x speed is about 2/3 of the day. Let's see, let's jump out cab and see where we are in the field. We look to be a little over halfway, I guess. And we are halfway with our, a little over halfway with our pie chart over there. Just go back in cab because it's a little quieter. I don't know how much money I got in the bank. I'll have to hang around and wait because I honestly don't remember. And other than your strategy, for everyone else, it's a little bit more than just money in the bank. It's the sum of the net value of the animals that we have, the net value of the equipment that we run, and the net value of the land that we own. You own the starting fields, but I don't think you've bought any fields. So, you know, let's say that I've got $2 million in the bank, which is about where I'm at. But I own 6 fields, including, or 7 fields, including the 3 starter fields. Then my bank balance really includes those 4 other fields, and that's not going to be reflected in the balance. We've got 118 sheep, so depending on when we sell the sheep, that's money in the bank. We've got some number of wool pallets that's just hanging around waiting on a good price, so that's money in the bank too that we haven't deposited. So it's hard to really go on bank balance. Like old guy Farmer's got 200 and some cows in his bank, if you will. He's also got a bunch of cow carrying equipment, but all that can be sold at the end. But to get a snapshot of the bank balance, you're going to have to either wait for the archive to be put up, or hold out for another 20-30 minutes. I'm also using this time to kind of look at these trees over here and kind of think about when I might want to start cutting them down. I can't even pull up the weather forecast to see what our winter's going to be looking like, or to show you what our winter's going to look like. So far, we've got we can see 3 days of winter, and we're seeing that 2 of those 3 days are going to be rain. Well, Doughboy, maybe your Doughboy says in chat that he'd be lost. There's too much to keep track of. Maybe your job will have you able to participate in the next one. The next one, which will be starting around Christmas, I think. Sounds like it will have a lot more defined rules. And I think one of the defined rules relates to trees, and prohibits you from cutting down trees unless it's explicitly for field expansion. And also, it prohibits you from cutting down trees that that's on land you don't own. Now that little bit can be a little wishy-washy, if you will, from how do you govern what lands you technically own? If you own a field that's adjacent to a field that you don't own, where's that virtual property line at? But to limit trees to trees that are on your land and trees that are directly related to field expansion would basically stop the map deforestation that many of us are doing simply in the idle time. Apparently there will also be a requirement for animals. We're getting there. We can see the end of the field now. We're almost at 3/4 of a pie. And thankfully our baler is still up there running. That's a good thing. So he hasn't gotten stuck. Oh, and I guess talking about money not in the bank yet, we've got probably, well, after this field's done harvested, we probably have easily close to $300,000 of silage bales waiting to be deposited into our bank. They won't hit the bank until late winter. That's another reason, Mark, why I'm really wanting to follow the weather forecast, is the potential inability for me to sell my silage bales due to excessive snow. Mark says that too many rules will kill the gameplay, and I agree. It'll be it'll be a fine balance, I think, between setting a decent rule set that's still flexible enough for people to not be basically set on a single style of play. We got GrizzlyBearSims in the house. How you doing? Hope your stream went well. I hope the trolls settled down. They were a bit lively there for a portion of the stream that I was kind of snooping on. Almost done. What about 5 more passes, maybe? We're dropping some frames. I'm not sure. We may have temporarily blanked out there. Getting some frame droppage for some reason. Hopefully these dropped frames will settle down here in a little bit. Wondering if something in the background hasn't decided to download. There we go. It looks like things are back now. Old Guy Farmer is asking if I can sub his channel and give him a shout out. Oh, Mark, just threw the hammer down on Old Guy Farmer. Oh, that is a hoot. That is a hoot and a half. Let me take care of something here. All right. Oh, he's back. He hasn't left us. So we're just about done this harvest mission, I hope, and then we'll go over there and count and figure out how many bales we've made while we're doing this. I think the reason Mark was slow to put the hammer down on old guy Pharmer is he was too busy licking his chops and smacking his hands and rubbing them together, going, "Oh boy, I finally get my chance." So I can't pull up the weather forecast, but if GrizzlyBearSims is still here and old guy Pharmer is still here, so I'll tell you what I've got. I'm seeing 3 days of winter so far in the forecast, and so far I've got 2 days of rain in the forecast for winter. It's rather interesting that it looks like my temperatures may not get below rain temperature. I was saying earlier that I'd be interested to try to figure out by watching everyone's multi-year progress here is if we can if there's a trend to if there's a correlation between your autumn weather and your winter weather. It seems like, at least just based on loose observation, that if you have a wet autumn, you may also end up having a wet winter. But that's not really based on too much other than just observing a few people's streams at this point. Because our autumn on this particular run through, we have 2 days of rain, and then that's it for the 6 days. And so far we can only see 3 days of winter, and 2 of those 3 days are rain. We have finished baling that whole field. That is awesome. So the strategy that we employed here on this field was to we mowed field 23, or was it field 26? No, we mowed field 26. So we mowed field 26 with course play. And while he was mowing, we baled up some grass. And then when the big M was done mowing, we set the baler off on the same course play course. And as he was starting to wrap, we came over here and started harvesting this mission. And since time goes to 1x speed, we were basically able to get that whole field baled and wrapped in the time that it took to run this mission. And when we get done this mission, we'll still have probably 3 or 4 game hours of daylight. Whereas if we didn't run this mission at all, we would have went well past midnight and possibly into tomorrow still baling and wrapping that field. a few more passes, then we'll be able to get back to something that actually doesn't involve just sitting in a chair and watching the screen. So Old Guy Farmer likes strawberries, watermelons, tomatoes, avocados, lemons, eggplant, meat on a bone, and I don't know what the heck that thing is. For anyone interested in getting into map editing, Old Guy Farmer has started up his infamous map class sessions once again. Encourage people to check out those if they want to learn a bit more about map making, map editing. The last little bit that I was watching, he was laying down some roads, and they're quite the windy roads. Duck Zorly wants to make a map full of grass. Is that all you want on the map? Is just grass? You don't need anything else? Do you plan on having Duck Zorly? I had a question. Do you? Do you plan on doing any animal work on Pemberton Farm? We're almost done. Our little pizza pie is almost full. Sheep are easy, and they play into your grass fetish. Although with seasons, you really want to be kind of into hay. Has everyone updated to 1.1 of seasons? Any moment now, we will be done this. There we go. And the straw disappears. The gypsy lady took it. $8,300. So there's our bank balance. We've got 2 days of rain, as I said in the forecast, for for winter. Look at all those glorious bales. And pretty much all of them were made while we were in our harvest mission. Trying to get lined up on our big M here so I can do a little follow-y. There we go. Hey Aaron Gallagher, how you doing? Well, if I ran, see, here's the logic. If I ran the baler behind the big M on that field, I would have only gotten a small portion of that field done. No, I didn't do the. I would have only gotten a small portion of that field harvested and baled over the course of the game day. I didn't take the stumps out here. Since we're playing on 15 times speed, we don't really have the luxury of time. So to mow slow enough for the baler to keep up as it wraps and does all that other fun stuff, we would have only gotten a portion of the field done in one game day. By running the mower and the baler separate using the same course play course, we were basically able to get both of it done in the same game day and still have time to spare. So it's kind of like cheating the clock a little bit. And as Mark mentioned, since you can see we have rain imminent in the forecast, if we did follow me and did all that more contemporary timing, it would already be raining. And Mark pointed out that the mission system basically pauses the weather in the current state. And it makes complete sense that it would do that, because it wouldn't want it wouldn't necessarily want you to start a harvest mission per se and then have it start to rain, and then obviously the game would say that you can't harvest anymore and then kick you out of the mission. That would be that would probably be cruel and an unusual punishment, especially if you were a fair bit through the harvest. So by having a hired helper do something, some bit of field work while you go run a fairly long mission, you can basically buy time for yourself to get that hired helper's work done, and you can kind of buy weather by assuring that any bad weather that may be in the forecast isn't going to occur until after the mission's over. So after we finish mowing here, we're going to play a little bit of a game. Mark and I have already guessed how many bales we think this field's going to produce. I'll give everyone a one-click glance. Alright, there you go. Now in chat, I want everyone to give me a prediction as to how many bales you think we'll pull off the field. AC Davis says he just subscribed. Thank you for the subscription, AC. I wish I could mow this wheat that I accidentally planted. That would be awesome. Robertus is 128. Cameron's got a little bit of a wild guess there at 1,000, but okay. Doughboy's a bit crazy at 350, but we'll go with that. 150. Now the Lord of Grass, he might actually know how many can come off this field because he probably has done it already. Although I'm thinking 150 is a bit high. Mark and I guessed 85, but that was before we even started baling the field. But we'll just guess. We'll just, I am really surprised that that baler is still running. And he hasn't given up, saying that we're too far ahead of him. He's giving up now. Old Guy Farmer says 130. Robert's wondering if any of these are down in the field, in the he's wondering if any of them are down in the river. That one's not going anywhere. Let's go in cab for a little bit. The late arrivals to our stream missed me rolling the bale trailer over. We technically rolled it twice because we I think we uprighted it and then it rolled over again on us. Somebody in chat mentioned something about the square baler. Which would definitely allow the baler to keep up with the mower. But we'd then have to run around with the wrapper. And what I have discovered from a different game save on a different map is that season starts to rot your bale almost instantly. And at 15 times speed, it's literally just a few real-life minutes after you make a bale that the quantity of the bale starts to drop. And my understanding of Season's bale prices is that it's based on the actual volume of the bale as opposed to bales having a flat price. So on a field this size, by the time you got around to wrapping the last bale, it would have a bit less capacity to it. Oh, old guy Farmer knows all about the stealing too. I don't know, because... Wait, where is it? Wasn't it over? It's gone, isn't it? Didn't I leave it over there by the... Look what you did. You made me leave the grass in the field. I'm pretty sure I left that bale over here along the road. On the other side. And now I don't see it. So I think it disappeared on me. Well, I'm pretty sure I left a bale that was rained on as I was baling and wrapping. And I'm pretty sure I left it over there along the side of the... Daggone it, I did it again. I'm pretty sure I left it over there alongside the road, across the road. But now I don't see it over there. It's a pretty field of marshmallows. And the lights are turned off. When it gets dark in seasons, it gets dark pretty quick. Yeah, since we can't run game extension, I can't really walk up to a bale and see its fill level. To see if any of the ones across the street are reducing. Now, if I get another bale ejection, I'll zoom in and show you all the texture changes I was talking about. That's going to be in the road. There was a question related to the straw. When I was doing a straw windrow, that it looked different. And I had mentioned that I had put in a some different texture files for straw, grass, and hay a while ago. So like, you can't really see it at night. Alright, so you see what the bale looks like now. And then as soon as it gets into the wrapper, it changes. I think as the bale is ejecting from the baler, it's the kind of the default game look, and then as it gets dropped in the wrapper, it turns into the new round bale texture that I have. Alright, I don't think we're going to get all of these bales picked up, but we'll give it our best try. So we do have a few over here. So for now, I'm not going to actually bother counting individual bales because we know we have multiple loads off of this field. And we know that this trailer holds 42 rounds per load. Hi Leah, how you doing? Or however you pronounce that. I think I mangled the name. Alright. Now we're going to start our up and downs. I think it would take a game week to pick up all these bales manually. Oh, we just took that bale out. Alright, so that's 42. going to try not to roll it this time. Alright, that was a bit better. Yeah, like I said, I don't know if we're going to get all of them picked up today. You can see my my stash here. So since we're picking up bales, I might as well mention that this is obviously a contest. Most of us that are doing the contest have mentioned that several times, but should I manage to actually win this contest, I'll be giving away the Platinum DLC that's coming out in November. And the way you register, or the way you basically enter to win, if you will, is on episode 72, which would be the final episode of the challenge for me. You need to put in the comments the total number of bales that we sold over the duration of the contest. The person closest to the right number, or the first person to guess the right number, will be the victor. So it basically requires you to have watched pretty much all the streams to some degree to know when we sold our bales and basically how many we sold. Since we've made hay bales, and since we're feeding hay bales to our sheep, we can't simply go off of the total bales produced number. I still didn't get that bale. Alright. Come on, you're the last one. There we go. And here comes the rain. So I think this will be the last load that we take up there. Because it is 10:47 game time. I don't have an intent to work through the night to collect bales. But I guess I could. Oh, did we miss the turn off? We did. So this is the second load of 42 off of that field, so that is 84. So Leah's asking how many bales we've done so far, I think. We're in year 2. So I'm not going to tell you how many bales we sold in year 1. I can tell you that we basically started selling bales in year 1 toward the end of autumn, I think. That'll kind of give you a little bit of a hint as to where to start watching the archives. We're not really selling any bales right now. We're simply stockpiling them. Because with seasons, silage bales aren't silage bales right away. Most of these bales up here are technically still grass bales. So they won't become silage bales for another few days. Now they will definitely be silage bales by the time we get around to selling them. But right now they're useless grass bales because they have to ferment. So in this challenge, if you're not familiar with the stream, you've just kind of come across this. We're in the midst of a 3-year seasons challenge. Where at the end of the 3rd year we're going to sell everything and see who has the most money. Other contestants in the challenge are in the description below. And our strategy is sheep and silage bales. So all we do is raise sheep, and this is going to be hard to pick them up when you can't see anything. And make silage bales. We're also doing forestry. When we can't do silage bales. Whoops. I seem to hit that button a lot on my steering wheel. I suspect visibility on the stream is pretty bad. It's pretty bad for me also. I'm barely seeing the bale before they pop into the headlights. So right now we've got 84 bales, right? 42 and 42. Will we be able to get a third set of 42? I don't know. Looks like we will, because we're about full. I think that's it. That's 42 right there. So 42 and 42 is 84, and an additional 42 would be 126 so far. So that at just over $1,000, a rubber burner wants me to roll the truck already. I told you, watch the archive. Earlier on in the episode, we definitely roll the truck. And while it's rolled over, we go ahead and check out the animations underneath. So we're 126 bales off of that field. Each silage bale sells for just over $1,000 in winter. So that field today gave us $120,000, and we're still pulling money off of it. I had commented in a previous stream that I always seem to own the stuff that has the worst headlights. The lights on this truck are not so great as far as the distance. The lights on the trailer are basically non-existent. Visibility is atrocious. Is that everything? No. Alright, so this must be, oh, there's a bale down there. This must be the last row. We're going to have to come over here in the morning and see how many bales we missed. There's one there. Might as well turn the headlights off, for as good as they are. All right. We're going to leave our bale trailer down here. Wait, we left the big M over here, didn't we? Might as well check our greenhouses while we're down here and just see where they are. We stocked them yesterday, so they should be pretty good. Oh, and now it stops raining. We can kind of look here at the field and see if we see any marshmallows. I think we might have actually gotten them all. This is about the only thing that we got that's got decent lights on it. So I'm just trying to look across the field, and I think we've got them all now. So if we assume that we've got all the bales off the field, we had 126, correct? Before. So how many do we have here now? We have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13 bales. 13 bales added to 126 gives us 39. Is that right? So about 139 bales off of that field. So we're going to run these two pieces of equipment up to the main farm. Because we can now mow some grass up there that we mowed way back in late summer. So we've just finished the first cutting off of all of the fields that we own. It's a little brighter on my screen, Doughboy, than the stream, thankfully. But yeah, it's a bit difficult. And I'd say that playing this map, or playing this challenge, has it's been the most night farming that I've done for the entire time I've played. Here comes our forward. He's so slow. So here is our, and I think these hay bales look different than they do in game. This is my custom hay bale texture. Alright. We're going to go over here, we're going to pick up eggs, and then we're going to run back and we're going to grab that flatbed. And our equipment shop is really cool because they're 24/7 operation. And we can go down there, we can buy some fertilizer in the middle of the night. But to do that, we need to drop these bales. And we might as well take these bales that was left over from the other day up to the up the hill. That should be everything. Yep. Let's drop them down. Because tomorrow, game day 4 of autumn, we want to fertilize the field we just pulled bales off of. And then we're going to almost. It's hard to see where this road is in the middle of the night. So we're going to fertilize that field tomorrow. We're going to mow and wrap the grass at the main farm, start our second cut, and basically see how much cut we can, how many fields we can get cut before game day 1 of winter. Because what we learned last game year, is that winter is a cruel, cruel beast, and the first day of winter, everything disappears. Because we were at the 11th hour trying to ted up some hay, and we had a nice big old windrow of hay tedded up on one of our fields, and we were literally running to the baler to start baling, and it crossed midnight, and that windrow of hay just poof vanished and right in front of our eyes. I expected the grass that wasn't cut yet to be knocked down, but I was not expecting the cut tedded windrowed hay to vanish in front of our eyes like it did. So what we know now is the transition to winter annihilates anything that's in a windrow. So if there's straw on the ground, if there's grass on the ground, if there's hay on the ground. Once midnight, winter day 1 starts, those windrows are annihilated. Alright, so we bought 6 bags of this last year, and it lasted us a little bit of time. We'll pick up some more. Now, unlike the last time we bought these, we unloaded. Oh, let me pull over here to some light, because this trailer is pretty cool. I think with related to its suspension, and we got time. So you see the hopefully you can see that the trailer has leaf springs. So we're going to unload, and you can see those things squatted down. We got some nice tire deformation. So the first time we picked up a bunch of fertilizer bags, we forgot to strap them, and they were scattered all around the road here. So we made sure we strapped them this time. We're not going to start him off. Like I said, we're going to do that tomorrow. Like I've commented before, this is the only map that I ever remember seeing lights blink. Street lights blink, or over by that field that we were working in harvesting, there's a tree sign, and there's a light on the ground that lights that sign up, and at night that sign blinks, like the light flashes. There it is. So for those that haven't seen this, this is the new UAL script, and you can move left and right. You can move where the the thing drops it. You can move it in 3 dimensions. So that's the new UAL script. You should see more and more mods come with that particular script adaptation. Alright, we can't clean up our sheep because our tractor is hooked up to our fertilizer spreader. But what we can do is, before we close out our stream, we can check on our sheep price. $3,400. So for those that don't know why we're doing that, we're basically keeping a log of what sheep are costing us each day, so that next year, which is the last game year of the challenge, we'll know when the best time to sell our sheep are. Alright, so with that, I think we're going to go ahead and close out. We don't have anything else going on. But tomorrow we're going to mow up this field. We're going to mow the field over there. Those are the 2 fields that we did in hay back on game day 3 of summer. And we might go ahead and mow this field. I know it's not at full growth, but we might just mow it for the sake of getting these 3 fields that are right here by the farm done. So let's look at our finances and see how we fared yesterday. So today, how did we make? So we had a pretty nice payday yesterday, field job income. We had our wage payment. Pretty stiff wage payment, but that was all that baling. $29,000 in our greenhouses. Property maintenance and vehicle running costs was right around $1,000 each. Leasing costs, again, that's our GTX mods fuel and maintenance trailer that we're leasing. And interesting enough, when we shifted to autumn, our animal maintenance dropped pretty significantly. So that's rather interesting, I thought. So we're still making some positive money while we're doing all our baling. So we're going to go ahead and save out. We're going to quit the stream. And thank you guys for watching. And until next time, happy farming.